Northampton Community Television is behind something called the 7-Day Film Sprint. Contestants have 7 days to write, cast, shoot, and edit a 5-minute film. Al Williams from Northampton Community Television came in to speak with Carolee McGrath to tell us more.
The 7-Day Film Sprint is a filmmaking event for filmmakers of all skill levels, whether you're an amateur filmmaker or aspiring filmmaker or professional filmmaker. And the challenge is that you assemble a team that's going to produce a film within the span of 1 week. You sign up for the film sprint, you attend the kickoff. This year it's going to be April 17th at our studios in Northampton. And your team will draw a genre of film out of a hat. Those genres can be anything. They could be buddy cop film, they could be Lifetime original movie, they could be mockumentary, they could be animal-themed film. And you are going to make a film in 1 week that is at most 5 minutes long in that genre of film.
That's a big task.
It is a big task. It's really daunting. The editing is probably the hardest part of it for people, and the most time-consuming part of it. And people, there's some level of stress and anxiety to it for people, but it's also an incredible amount of fun. The films are pretty amazing. They're surprising how good they turn out. And it's a bonding and creative experience for people who go through with it. So sometimes we get a lot of people who've never created a film before who want to come and create a film.
And just check it out.
And participate in this event. And it's a really exciting project.
Do you have any younger kids who just have these dreams of one day being in Hollywood who come and try to do it?
So there's some kids who do it with their parents who are middle school and younger kids. And then frequently high school kids will come in and participate as well as adults.
Yeah, this is a hard industry, though, right? I mean, and you think, oh my gosh, who's really going to come out of Western Mass and become a superstar? But, yeah. I mean, it's possible with all the technology today, especially. Some of these high schoolers, just really surprise you.
Yeah, absolutely. We're located, our facility is located in the same building as Northampton High School, and we have a lot of cross-pollination with the work we do with those students. And for the past number of years, those students are going on into major media and film school programs. So there's a great jumping off point for people.
Do you think there's a lot more opportunity now as opposed to, let's say, 20 years ago?
Oh yeah, I think there is. I think accessibility technology has really changed sort of the ability to create things of high quality content, and have access to that equipment. That's fundamental to sort of the work that we do as well, as providing people that kind of equipment.
And why is this important for the community of Northampton?
We think it's important for Northampton because one of our fundamental missions as an organization is to enable people to express themselves and to teach them the tools of expression. Those tools being cameras and lights and microphones and editing software, and we think that a lot of people aspire towards creativity in their lives. They imagine themselves as filmmakers or as painters or as musicians, and yet there's being a creative person in the world is often a class that is reserved for certain people, and I think that's something that people impose upon themselves. So people want to make a film, but they think that they can't do it, or they're not allowed to do it, or they don't allow themselves to do it. And so we try to create programs where people can be creative and people can play. And we think that that's really important to being a healthy human being.
What about, you get a film and it's just fantastic? Then what? Can you, point people in the right direction? Because I think a big part that holds people back is, how am I really going to get there from here? What are the steps? Do you kind of walk people through that?
Oh, absolutely. That's a key aspect of our work. To provide them with opportunities and training and consulting and advice. And that's kind of the beauty of this project as well, is because you're creating a very short piece of work, there's not a lot of risk involved in it. If it doesn't come out terribly good, then you can start another 5-minute film later down the line. It's really trying to encourage people to completing something and realizing that it's attainable for themselves. And then the hope is that they continue to do that work and continue to sort of play in that sandbox and hone their skills.
So you have something else coming up in June as well that's exciting.
Yeah, it's kind of a similar project. In fact, it was inspired by the success of the 7-Day Film Sprint. It's called the Crowdsourced Cinema Project. The Crowdsourced Cinema Project is where the entire community gets together and remakes a classic Hollywood film by crowdsourcing the scenes in the film to various teams of producers. So the first year we produced The Raiders of the Lost Ark, and last year The Princess Bride. Last year about 44 teams completed scenes, so that means you show up or you sign up for Crowdsource Cinema and we assign you a scene from the film The Princess Bride. Last year those scenes were about 1 to 2 minutes in length on average.
And so what is it this year? What's the film?
We haven't announced it yet this year, so it's up
I
and
want to
coming.
get a running start.
That's we're close to our announcement, but we're not at that point yet. So we're excited about it. We're pretty sure we know what it's going to be, but it's not public information yet.
All right. We'll have to wait on that one. Thank you so much, Al Williams, for coming in and talking about 2 great projects coming up, and best of luck to you.
Great, thanks.